Joel, Joel, let's see. Say this. Am I, am I muted?
No, I can hear you.
Oh, welcome, friends, enemies, countrymen,
Everybody in between.
kind mothers. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm all right.
Instinctively speaking, that is.
Instinctively. Yes, I was thinking about the word instinctive and versus intuitive because I I I was I was looking at this diagram. Where is it? Oh, where is it? There it is. This is a diagram that Shrikant showed us at 52 Living Ideas.
Oh, yeah?
And so to the one to the left is got the word intuitive,
Right.
and it's also system one thinking, and the one to the right is deliberative thinking, and so that's system two, slow thinking. So I was wondering if instinctive is also to the left and maybe even to the bottom. And and couldn't one intuit deliberatively uh, or slowly intuit, or is intuitive out of our control, kind of reacting reactions in when you have an intuition. I guess you don't have much control over it, do you? I don't know. Do you have
Well,
intuitions?
my understanding, and I haven't really thought about this really very much for a long time, is that intuitions are like the color yellow in the visual sphere. So my understanding is that the human eye is immediately drawn in a group of colors to the color yellow. That's why a lot of road signs and things like that are made in yellow color to immediately bring our attention to them. And it seems that the mind is immediately drawn to our intuitions. Um, I don't know if it's entirely voluntary. I think you can, what goes on in your mind, I think just happens. I'm not sure that you have direct control of that. It's a function of your memories. What you do with that, of course, your conscious mind controls, at least for some people. Other people, maybe less so. Um,
Mhm.
at least that's the way I think of it, but I haven't really thought about it specifically till just now.
You're saying that, as an example, that the color yellow.
Yep,
Oh, someone's knocking at the door. Who could it be?
it must be Professor Del Pino.
Let's see. Where can I let him in?
Of course.
Where letting him in function? I
I
don't find it. Can't find it. Participants. Oh, there it is. I had to.
Ah, you see, I intuited that.
You intuited that.
Or did I actually foresee it? Do I have paranormal powers? Even though you alone were able to view who's coming in the room. I was
Wait,
able to tell you who it was
wow.
based on my sixth sense.
Was it, so it was an intuition. You intuited that it might be Luis Del Pino, and so you claimed that intuition. You took a chance by saying it was Luis
I
Del
was gonna say, good morning, Vietnam.
Joel intuited that it was Luis Del Pino before Luis Del Pino was even let in.
I
Good
have
morning.
I have paranormal powers.
So
I
you're
always knew it.
saying that intuition is more paranormal than instinct. Instinct is more uh, system one thinking, and it's been more biologically programmed instinct. But intuition is based on familiarity with the situations and good probabilistic for
You know,
prediction prediction. When you intuit, you're using probabilistic predictions.
I think that's right. I think actually that's what I did. I used my sixth sense, my sense of mathematics, and I said probably who else gets up at 7 o'clock in the morning, if not you and Luis and me if I can't sleep.
we are
So
the fools on the hill.
so it was easy for me to intuit probabilistically, and because also I had to consider what are the consequences. So if it turned out not to be Luis, I suffer very little consequences. Perhaps my stoic reputation is slightly demeaned in your mind,
In the minds
Jairo,
of others
and
who
the
are
person
viewing
the person who it might have been
YouTube.
instead of Luis would then see, you know, Joel's probabilistic thinking or his abilities of intuition or his magical abilities are not as powerful. I don't have such good mojo. But as it turned out, my mojo's still working.
All
What do
right,
you
guys,
think,
I
Luis?
did my homework, Jairo.
No way.
Hmm.
Uh-oh.
In preparation for this momentous Zoom, which compares instinct and intuition and insight.
Oh,
And
wait a minute. Now we're going into the realm of the Trinity. We
yes,
were just in the duality.
I
We're
forgot to
moving
mention
this up
that.
a notch.
see, Joel, everything is a trinity.
Like Darwin,
Everything
you
is
mean?
a well,
Like the
everything, and that would
like
include
like
Darwin
the
game. That
like
would
the
include everything.
triangles of Darwin.
Yes, everything is a trinity because when you think about it, reality is the trinity, the three things at the same time: the God, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Think about it in terms of uh, the Trinity is one, so Advaita, non-dual thinking. So there's one reality, and the three corners of that triangle would be the phenomenal aspect of reality, that which can be measured, touched, sensed, thought of, understood, measured, blah blah blah. Then there is the non-phenomenal side of reality, which is what some philosophers called noumenal, and non-phenomenal is noumenal, which has to do with nous, which is the essence, the, the ethereal part of the world. Zero Kelvin would be the non-phenomenal side. And then the third one is the dynamic interplay between the phenomenal and the non-phenomenal. Just like Jesus, for example, was the interplay between God and the world. So that's why he was incarnated. So the third thing in the triangle would be the dynamic between being and non-being. And of course, that dynamic is neither being nor not being. It's neither alive or dead. It's just like the Schrodinger's cat. It's always somewhere in the middle. So
Oh,
this this theme of conversation is phenomenal because in here you can
oh,
see we're studying the way we humans
welcome.
understand reality.
Welcome, Darwin game. Welcome,
I thought we were talking to Darwin game. Now we have the triangle again. The game, the inventor of the game, and the gaming itself. So I did my homework and I looked at the etymology of the word intuition, and it's a beautiful thing.
wow.
It
David
gives.
would be proud of you.
I know,
More
I know. I'm sure it's going to show up soon, and we'll be able to talk about words, which is what he likes, words. But if you look at the etymology of the word intuition, it talks about. Listen to this: understanding without reasoning.
intuition.
Yes. Also, it also says direct, immediate, and from within understanding. So you understand something directly, no reasoning. Immediately, it's something that just hits you like a ton of bricks. And from within. So you go through the aspectual side of the concept or object or phenomenon that you're trying to understand, actually that you understand, that you, and then the third definition that they give is understanding penetrating into. So you don't think about the thing, you become the thing. And this in meditation, you've heard this 1,000 times, becoming one with the object of meditation. What does that mean? Well, you don't think about the object, you become one, you become the object that you are meditating about. So that goes beyond your reasoning, your cognition, your logic, your mathematical formulations and descriptions. It is you are it. You are it beyond your understanding.
What do you think, Joel? What do you think, Joel?
Joel doesn't hear you.
Joel hears me,
Maybe he's muted.
he's muted.
How about now? Oh,
Now,
What? Now you're
Ooh,
echoed.
now he is
okay.
beyond muting.
How about now? You hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
But I don't hear you.
Oh no.
Okay, now. How about now?
Yes.
Okay, so
Okay.
you have to you have the host, so you have to what's it called? Make the Darwin board the presenter so that I could understand. But you have to go much more slowly, Dr. Del Pino. I'm not able to follow the flow of your ideas. They're too rapid.
Okay.
So have
Yeah.
you have
Actually,
not
yeah. It's,
highlighted the Darwin board because I needed to understand the argument spatially.
I understand. I understand. So I try
Oh,
to make this like a sutra. A sutra
Yeah,
is a
and
short interlacing of ideas.
yes,
And
but it's too many ideas in too
I
short
know.
a time.
I
The
know.
flow of your mind is so rapid.
Well,
And
because I
you're
not because I'm
you're
very
leaving the
smart.
students behind.
Yeah, it's not because I'm very smart. It's because I've been thinking about this for so long.
Well,
It has become very natural.
I think you're too humble, but never mind. We can deal with the social niceties at another time.
Yes, yes, yes.
Once
So
once we
I go back to
establish what is being spoken, because I'm fascinated by the singularity, the duality, the trinity, and the
yes,
quadrilinity, but I'm
yes.
not clear on the distinction. Are
Okay.
you able to focus on the Darwin board so that we can do these visually at the
Yeah.
same time as they're
Oh,
described for us?
Yeah. I mean, we can talk about the Darwin board like we can talk about any phenomenon.
yes.
We're
So
focused, however, only on Jairo's face. Have you frozen, Jairo? Who is? We have to deal with the technological issues here.
no. We have the board on. We have the board on. You have to look at the
No,
multiple
no,
multiverse.
no. It's not multiverse. It's universe. We first of all we want to visually, and then
Oh,
we'll have the auditory input from. All I'm getting here is Jairo's face. So you
right.
have
But
to make
You
Darwin
have
the presenter.
to swipe your display so you can see the multi perspective, and then you will see everybody, including the Darwin board,
Yes, but
which
what
makes
we're
it even more
looking for
interesting.
at this
yeah.
point is the host has the make presenter function.
Oh boy,
No,
There we go.
what did you do? What did you do?
I think we're going in the wrong direction here, so I better go make a coffee because I think this is going to be more complex. I was looking for simplicity, but instead we've gotten more complexity.
Well,
Oh,
the beauty about this is that whether Jairo is able to show the board or not, we can talk about
I'm
this
showing
idea.
I'm showing the board of the 4 human subsystems model.
No,
The board
that's
of
not the board.
I, I
That's
thought
your
it was the
screen
board of
share.
directors.
That's your screen
That's
share.
that's the board of directors. Wait a minute.
Screen sharing.
Applying 4 human subsystems model. What is that? The external. Hold on a second. Let me see. External. Let me see
So
if I can see this. External civilization structures, objective deliberation thinking, subjective intuitive reactions, and habitual bodily actions.
yeah.
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
and then the one in the
See,
center.
they use the wrong word. You have to call these guys and say, no, it's not intuitive. It's uh, instinctive. They made a big mistake there.
That's my opinion too,
So
because
you need to call these guys and say, guys, get your shit together.
he was saying that the yellow is our system 1 thinking, and the blue is our system 2 slow thinking.
So he
But
has to put
I
instinctive on the yellow side.
I objected to
In
intuitive. I said
in
maybe it should be instinctive.
yes, and then in the thinking, he needs to put it in the habitual actions because we're used to thinking. We're not used to intuiting. See?
The blue should have habitual.
No,
Got
the
deliberative.
yeah, deliberative thinking should be in the red because it's habitual. But deliberative intuition, that's when we're talking, and then objective should be also in the habitual because we're very objective. We look at things, we don't look at their essence. So they missed
What
the
are you saying that objective should also be habitual?
yes, yes.
But it's got
That's
deliberative thinking, like system 2
yeah.
thinking.
I know, but instead of thinking, you see, so now we're talking about this. This is the react. The yellow is reactive. The red is reasoning, and the
Reasoning.
blue the blue is direct intuition.
No,
So it goes,
the red is
it
not
goes
happening. The red is habitual bodily actions.
I
Like
know, but wait, but
that's
that's
not
the
like
point.
instinct.
That's the point. If everybody was in the blue, the world would be different. So it's not in the blue. So habitual is also objective. The other one is in the blue. It has to always be numinal, direct, direct intuition. Oops, Mike is calling me. Hold on a second.
Oh, tell him to join us. Hmm. Let's see. Everybody's gone. Where's? How do I? How do I switch? Oh, you and I better go back to Zoom. There we go. I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm back. Uh, Joel's gone. Luis is gone. I'm all by myself with my thoughts. So, but I'm thinking about what people might be thinking that are watching this video. They might be thinking this guy's crazy, and it's where's this going to? I don't know. In the meantime, I may even try to while they're gone to do things, I may be gone. Oops, let's see. Maybe I should mute this one. Is this one muted? Wow. Hmm. Yeah, I should. Hmm. I'm going to go help my mother go to the bathroom. She's not uh, quite disabled, but she loses her balance. So I kind of like to go with her, be by her side. The bathroom is it's a long distance away from her bed. Not too bad. It's a good exercise. Hmm. I'm untangling my head, headphone. I want to use my headphones so that she doesn't hear what is being said. Yeah, okay. I haven't plugged it in yet, but I'm going to plug it in right now. Here it goes. Hmm. So how's that sound? I've heard people say that it sounds echoey, or maybe when they speak, then their voice sounds echoey. But that's on a phone call. It might be different right now. So I'm gonna wake my mother up to see if she wants to use the bathroom. ¿Quieres ir al baño? No. ¿No? Todavía no. ¿Todavía no? No.
¿No tienes que ir a hacer chivito? ¿No necesitas ir a hacer chivito?
No, todavía no.
Qué frío hace. Okay, so that settles that. Okay, I wonder if I could call David. What if I call Rami? No, I don't want to bug anybody. Oh, somebody's knocking. Let's see if I can let them in. Let's see. Participants. Admit. Luis Del Pino.
Unforgivable. I'm sorry, but Mike McKenna called me and he had a quick question. And since we were kind of in a, well, he cannot.
Join?
Yeah, no, he knows. He can join anytime. He has the link and he has everything. So, but he can't do it. He just had a quick question for me of doctrinal importance.
Oh. He called the Pope to see if he was sinning or not.
He asked me to interpret the one phrase that Jesus said, supposedly, "What you do unto the least of all, you do unto me."
Ooh.
So he asked me to interpret that from a different, view.
And then you use your intuition to answer, or deliberative thinking, or instinct, or
All three.
Can I ask another doctrinal question?
Yes. That's what makes Zoom fun.
Who put the bop in the bop shabop shabop? Who put the ram in the ramalama ding dong?
That's a very good question, reminiscent of what came first, the chicken or the egg. And the problem
is it a Trinitarian question?
Always.
A Unitarian question, a duality question, or a quadrilinear question?
Or a non-duality question.
Now I can go get my coffee and allow you time to intuit the answer.
The answer.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind.
All answers are like that.
What's going on today? We don't have any other, we don't have Shanti, we don't have David, we don't have anybody but Joel, you and I, and Darwin, the Darwin board.
Mathematician Michael.
Ever present Darwin board.
but we have Luis Del Pino in his research on the word intuition and instinct, and what was the other one? Ineffable.
Instinct, intuition, and insight.
Insight. That's the other one I forgot. Mm-hmm. And the other one was ineffable. So I should go back to my announcement.
To the dictionary. The announcement, yeah.
The other two words that I forgot. Insight and ineffable. Then maybe somebody else will show up.
It's not coincidental that the one web page that I always mention when somebody's interested in starting to think is accesstoinsight.org.
Maybe I should go there and look up the word insight.
Well, no, because accesstoinsight.org is the Theravada writings. So it talks about everything, but it is insight itself.
Justin Williams might join us. Let's see if he will.
Nice.
Remember Justin? No.
The one in England?
Oh, yes.
I will hold my tongue for fear I insult him again.
Oh.
will be much more amenable today. I will.
You
agree
you
with
walk around
Frankie.
like a gorilla. They're
We
peaceful and nice, but wherever they go, they push
we're
things around.
having join us now, Justin. We're having insightful,
Insights.
eh,
Insightful insights.
insightful, intuitive, intuitive, and and instinctive conversation. And oh, interesting is another word. Insightful
Interesting.
and intuitive conversation.
I'm laughing so much already. I'm tearing up.
Um,
It's incredible.
Zoom.
This is the best medicine.
That's
After
the
a-
laughing Buddha.
Yeah, after a hard week's
This
work,
is
there's nothing like a good Zoom when you laugh and you cry at the same time.
oh yes. So that was interesting that you, Luis Del Pino, were able to intuit the error in the author of that diagram, where it had the four, the four colored lightning strikes. The yellow going to the left, it had the word intuitive, and you recommended it. It should say instinctive, and I agree because he was saying that that area is, it deals with system one thinking, which is more instinctive, more reflex, and the system two is the one going to the right, and that's more deliberative, slow thinking. What do you think? Let's see. I'll share it again. Screen. Start now. Oh, and then you go like this, like that. Do you see it? Oh shit! Oh, I gotta get back.
No, you're showing it.
Hmm. Get back to Zoom in my iPad. There I can see everybody. Maybe on my iPad. Oh, I think I can see everybody. How can I see Luis? Why? Oh, hello. Yes. So, what do you think? You, do you see it?
Yeah, that would be the.
You see that the colors are based on Carl Jung's color scheme.
I didn't know that. The
I
yellow,
think
blue, green, and red. I didn't know that he used different colors.
I think Carl Jung came up with something like that, to define characteristics of personality types, maybe,
It's
that will
possible.
later on went on into becoming the other things like Meyer Briggs and other
Yeah, 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 yeah.
things. See this, that's a screenshot of the meetup on Zoom where Shrikant
Ah,
Rag
yes, yes.
Ragnakar was
Well,
was
you should invite Shrikant uh,
trying
to our
to.
Zoom and discuss this little drawing that he did, and let's critique it. Let's talk about it, discuss it, and not find fault, but refine it,
Oh, okay.
because there are some inconsistencies in it.
Oh,
As long as we think about
oh,
these notions from the, you know, a coherent perspective, because if we don't agree on the terms, we don't agree on the
oh.
concepts.
It might be just confusions of what
I
he
bel
was doing, and he was
yeah,
trying to show how it could be applied, but
right,
and maybe the one going up is things that are happening externally, and the one going down would be internally, and then the
yeah,
one going left is more subjective, and the
yeah, that's
one
right,
going
the
right is more
interpretation.
objective.
There you go. So again, you see this as a triangle instead of a quaternum. So basically, you have the reality as it is on the top, right? And on the right and on the left, how you understand it. Or at the bottom, how you understand it, and on the left and right, the interplay on how reality looks at itself. And then you see the number one thinking and number two thinking, the fast thinking, the slow thinking.
Mm.
I contend, or I propose that the slow thinking becomes so slow that it becomes an experience, a direct experience, and not a reasoning, logical. Uh, it, it goes beyond mathematics, if you want to put it that way. If the ultimate reasoning is mathematical, reality is able to be itself beyond mathematics.
Then it becomes dogma.
No, dogma is believing something without proof.
Well, if you're not thinking about it, you're believing it.
Well, reality cannot believe anything because reality cannot think
Oh.
itself. So that's the truth. The true truth is what is
Oh.
being itself, but not thinking about itself.
But is that
Because
just the true truth, or what about the true truth?
so
Or
Wait.
if we're dealing with a quadrilinity, then we have a truth.
all right. So reality has two.
Oh,
There is
Let's see if
only
we,
one.
David.
This
let's
is
see if
a
we could agree.
phenomenon. Who's that?
David is gonna say. Oh, I shouldn't have said who it was to see if you could
Oh,
intuit
good
who it
morning,
would be.
David.
Could you guess?
Good morning.
David, you're here
Good
to
morning.
save the day.
What's
With your wordsmithness, we will be able to determine for sure what intuition and instinct mean.
the same thing?
Difference. Ah,
That's a quick one.
What else you want to know?
Luis is trying to explain the difference between truth and true truth. And then I
true
interjected that it may be true truth.
Truth. Yes.
Or,
real
or it
simple.
could be truth.
or
And
and
that would be the ultimate.
who put the shabam in the shenanigan? No, what is it?
Who put the ram in the ramalama ding dong?
Ramalama ding dong.
And the rock and roll.
You have your answers right there. You found the truth.
Oh,
Is there more than truth? Is there true truth?
Truth is a perception of each individual.
True.
But that's a relative truth.
Well, that's right. Exactly right.
So
and
if
that's
you
all
look at
there is.
each individual, let's break this down, because that's the way to go. You have to break it down. I think
That is
reality.
only the Cartesian method.
I think therefore I am, but my truth to me is absolute to me. That's true.
Yeah, I
Really?
agree with that.
Nobody
But it's relative to everybody else.
It's relative to everybody else. Excellent.
But what if you have doubt in your truth?
But I am only part of. I'm only part of. Yeah, I'm not on Mars. I'm not on the other side of the galaxy. I don't know shit. I know very little. So my truth, however absolute it might be to me, it is incomplete in a sense that I don't know how many rocks there are and what they're made of on the other side of Mars. But if I break it down into two different kind of knowledges, maybe I can expand my knowledge base. I can say, all right, I don't know how many rocks there are on Mars. I grant it, but that is what we would call conventional knowledge, practical, mundane, trivial. How many rocks are there on Mars? Well, maybe I could find out if I go there and spend enough time counting them. It's not going to get me much further out there. Maybe he's going to impress somebody and go, Lewis knows how many rocks there are on the other side of Mars. But it's a trivial. It's just like saying how many cars are driving on I-4 right now. It's knowledge, but it's trivial. It's conventional. It's run of the mill knowledge. But there is another kind of knowledge that is not trivial. It's not conventional, and it's not mundane or practical. It
But
is.
that's just a belief, Luis.
That's mine. That's mine. That's mine. I'm
That's
just trying
a
to explain my
belief
knowledge.
that there is other kind of knowledge.
Yeah, that's
But-
my.
Okay, so,
I'm talking about my knowledge. So I
so
know.
that's just a hypothesis.
Yes.
That's your hypothesis.
Yes,
You
but I
wanna-
have an
you wanna
intuition.
run with that hypothesis.
He
haven't-
says hypotheses. I could say theory, and it's both the same thing.
Exactly.
follow
Exactly.
my-
We both
follow-
understand each other.
Follow my intuition.
There-
It's like,
there-
oh, I have limited knowledge, which is absolute to me and relative to everybody else. And what I'm trying to do
But
is
the important knowledge is the knowledge we can agree on. That is
Nope.
not unique
Nope.
to us.
No, 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 no.
We believe this is one singularity. It's a whole marble. So
yes,
this we can believe in. This we
Yes.
can agree to.
yes, but
And
no,
it's
that's
not,
not.
it's either trivial or not trivial depending on the circumstance.
Mm.
The thing is, see, now
Oh.
this we have a
What do you
disagreement
mean
in
by
here.
trivial? That it's important or non-important, or simple and non-simple?
Well, I was using the word in the sense of important or not important, the way that Luis was talking about rocks on Mars.
Uh-huh.
Now, at this juncture in the context of this discussion, I would agree with him that the number of rocks on Mars may not be, I would, rather than use the word important, I would say relevant or irrelevant.
Mm.
So it's not important for us to continue our discussions, but it's not really germane. It doesn't really affect what we're talking about here.
What does the word germane mean?
But that you can relate to.
Significant or relevant.
Brotherly, you can relate to. Germain is like, I feel like you because we're brothers. Germain is to be related by blood.
Oh, isn't that from Germany?
Whatever it is, germain. In French, cousin germain is first cousins. So you're related by blood. So germain is we feel close because we are closely related by blood or by understanding.
Oh, so it's non-trivial to know French.
Well,
That's
the
very
more
useful.
you know, the more.
Josh, when you're in
it dep-
Canada, don't you know French?
Oui, je parle français, mais seulement un peu franc.
Oui.
Ben, on pourrait peut-être continuer la conversation en français.
Oui.
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 But I'm going to take up a disagreement here. I have a beef. Because what you're saying, Joel, is the important knowledge is the knowledge that we can agree on, you and I. And
No. No. The goal is not just for you and I, but the goal is for us to have a discussion, find the elements of agreement or disagreement, and see if David and Jairo can be included in that agreement. So we begin to develop a consensus.
you are, yeah.
That
Oh.
is why we no
But-
longer run around the woods
But
with our spears trying to kill dinosaurs, but
Joe.
are instead communicating across vast distances, and some are even able to win at Darwin.
But before you try to find consensus with others, don't you think it's important to find consensus with yourself?
No. That is actually the ultimate hubris. That's the ultimate self-deception. That's solipsism in its extreme.
Yep.
Didactic narcissism.
Yep.
Now I know we have a chasm of understanding here.
Or a
No,
difference of opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you think, David?
we're coming from complete different perspectives, and it's
Right.
going to take a lot of talking about this to
I mean,
arrive
that's
to a
That's
consensus.
why, to me, what you said, the word germane came up. There's a root to germane, and the thing is probably it's more understood maybe in the French language than in the English language. And one of the greatest problems I believe that we have as a society is not understanding the true definition of words. So that when people are speaking, they're speaking on what you say is their relative knowledge rather than a common knowledge that has been established over time for a single word. So therefore, depending on who you're talking to, you maybe think you're in the right conversation, but because they have a different understanding of the definition of the words, everybody is seeing something totally different.
Yeah, that's why we fight each other with spears.
Yeah, right, I guess.
So it would be very difficult for us to transact economically if I were to say, I will pay you 2 pebbles, and you say, I want 4 pebbles. And if neither of those words, 2 or 4, held a specific meaning for each of us, we
Yeah.
would not be able to transact because it would be all nonsense. I might say 7, 4, 2, and there's no specificity to the use of those words.
Right, and I like that idea, Joel. And the thing is, like right now, you could take and look at that example in real time where we have cryptocurrencies now, where some places will accept cryptocurrency as payment. Okay, but people that do not understand that or have any kind of understanding of how that works, the last thing they will ever do would be pay with a cryptocurrency. And the thing is, it's something not only in the financial aspect and negotiation, but also in just about in every other area of our lives, it applies to. Silence. Somebody got something to say.
Very good, David. What do you think, Luis?
I am. I'm trying
Upset?
to see. No, not at all. Not at all. No. have you,
You're
have you ever
trying.
seen me? Have you ever seen me upset?
You're you've withdrawn and regrouping
Well,
and
I
adjusting your strategy to
yes, I'm trying to see how we can
how
take
to
the conversation to jump over this
barriers,
immense hole,
lack of
uh,
intuition.
like the Great Canyon, the Grand Canyon.
May,
So
may I offer an idea?
Yeah,
go ahead,
let's hear it,
Joel.
Joel.
So on this board, is there any single spot that is very unique in reference to all the others?
The
Only you would
center,
know
of
that.
course.
Okay.
The center. But Joel,
Do we
you
know? Do we know why? Can we explain why?
Only you can, Joel.
Well, we have 2 squares, and within the 2 squares, there are 4 subsquares. So as long as we have a common understanding of the word square representing a shape that we all understand to be the same thing, so we have squares within a main square, squares within a second main square, and a common corner to both main squares.
Is that like home base?
Well, it could very well be if we were thinking of this as baseball teams or places. But there is something we have agreed on, unless people have a contrary explanation. And it is phenomenological because it's here. We can all look at it and see it in real time.
Did Luis Del Pino determine that the center was the most interesting or unique or distinct
He
because
said common, I
use
think.
did he use intuition or instinct?
I don't know. We never
Oh.
got that far. I'm still trying to deal with the phenomenological so that at least the one specific thing that we're looking at, we have a common understanding of. The shape of a square, two large squares, four sub-squares within each square.
Yeah, right. And the thing is, it depends upon each person that's observing what you're saying, Joel, as to where they actually connect with what you're saying.
I
Because if
see a
some-
rectangle in the bottom.
What is
Yes.
I'll ask you a question here, a phenomenological question. What is the shape of reality?
he just
Well-
identified the shape of his reality within the squares and what he was trying to describe on his, I think, board or whatever it is there.
Well, I'm not
I would
sure that
say-
reality is a shape-based question. What is the color of a fart?
Yeah, right.
The shape of
What
reality.
is- You can
okay?
tell me-
What is the shape of a square?
If you can tell me what the color of a fart is and the smell of reality,
Right.
then maybe we could discuss it. But
Tell
these
me
are
this-
not germane, connected, relevant discussions, in my view.
Describe the
my
shape
view.
of what is the shape of a square?
Well,
What is
He
it's
just
What is-
described it.
what is a
is the
side? Yeah,
sound
what is
of-
the what is a side? What is a corner? What is
What
you
is
know?
the sound of one hand clapping?
There you go.
it's the same as the smell of reality and the shape of a fart.
The shape of reality is a sphere expanding.
No, that's the shape of a fart.
So reality is a fart. Now I get it.
That may be so.
That's right. It may be true.
So did you intuit that this is a rectangle, Jairo, or did you deduce that, or have you learned that? Because I understood what you meant as soon as you said it.
Me
So
too.
either my instinct or my insight or my intuition or some other knew what you were talking about without needing to elaborate.
I used my visual system and geometric shape recognition, so I recognized squares, and squares are rectangles that have all the sides equal in length, but there was one square that wasn't a square. That's the rectangle, because it's got two sides that are longer than the other two sides. The opposite sides are the same length, but it's got a length that's longer than the width. So it must be a rectangle, a non-square rectangle. What did I use for that? Did I use my intuition or my instinct?
You use common knowledge.
Oh,
I mean, everybody is taught in elementary school what a square is, what a rectangle is. So the thing is, as they go through life and somebody mentions the word rectangle, they know what a rectangle is, and they know what a square is. And it
Common
becomes,
knowledge. That's a good word, David. Common knowledge.
it's what it is.
or is it conventional knowledge?
Well, conventional knowledge and common knowledge seems to have the same understanding. So you could say either
That-
one, and I think it might be right.
or
So we know
maybe-
what common knowledge is and conventional knowledge is. Do we know what not common or not
What
conventional
about
knowledge is?
common sense?
That's
Did we
opinion.
did we use common sense? Did I use common sense to determine that that was a rectangle, or did I use common knowledge? Well, I used my senses.
That's up to you.
If we all agree a rectangle is a rectangle and what it looks like, why do we fight each other?
Why are we fighting each other now? We're not fighting each
Yeah.
other.
If we
Oh,
have
but-
common knowledge, if we have common knowledge about geometry, basic mathematics,
Then that's an absolute.
why do we fight each other with spears?
That is an absolute truth that a rectangle is a polygon with of 4 sides, with the opposite one pair of sides being longer than the other. But a square is a rectangle that all the sides are the same length. It's a special case of a rectangle. So you could say we're looking at rectangles. Yeah, but then if we go draw a diagonal line between uh, points that aren't connected, we could form triangles. Maybe the designer of the Darwin board should draw the diagonal lines, or would that be too confusing?
Is this a lesson in geometry or what?
It's a, it's a lesson in geometry because Plato, as you know, or was it? Well, maybe it came about uh, by people before him, but he imagined that the absolute truth was geometry, and that we derived our conventional or common truth. We pulled it out of the absolute, uh, spheres, rectangles, triangles. We pulled them out of a realm of forms, a
What
form
is,
realm,
okay, what is
and
the
that produced.
geometrical, let me ask you, Jairo, on this one, I'm going to interrupt you. What is the shape of the center of the board? What geometrical name can we give to the center? The very, 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 very center of the board.
It would be a point, wouldn't it?
Yes, that would be my understanding, and that would be commonly used. I'm not
Dimensionless?
Sure.
There's no dimension in the center?
Yes, a point has no dimensions.
I don't
So
know.
it doesn't exist? So it doesn't exist.
It 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 exists, but it has no dimensions. It has a location. We can pinpoint a point on the board, and then
So
we
I,
can
s-
say,
so
"I
the
see a
center of
point
it
right
all,
there."
the center of it all does not exist because it has no dimension. There is no
It
representation of it.
it has a dimension of 0, absolute 0 Kelvin. That means
So
that
What
we
is the word
zero,
center if you don't want to take and give it some kind of a definition?
well, we could get a measuring tool like a caliper and measure the width of the point, and we could uh, tweak turn it until we have both ends
and
touching,
if we
and
said that the center,
we can say,
if we
What
said
purpose
that
would
the
that
center,
be?
and if we don't agree that the center is in the center, and we just say no, the center is pretty much anywhere in the universe.
that too,
So
because
if every point in the
both.
universe is the center, and hence has no dimension,
Oh,
hence does not exist,
but no, something that has no dimension doesn't necessarily not exist, because the universe has infinite dimension and it exists, or maybe not.
are
But
we
a
saying that
point has,
zero equals infinity?
yes, well, in the different directions. A 0 is infinitely small, and the infinite universe is
I love
infinitely
this.
large.
I love this because in the new existentialism lies, and enlightenment is the new existentialism. You get out, you just free yourself from yourself. That's the ultimate freedom of the human mind, is to free itself from its humanity, its triviality, his conventional, like there's nothing else. This is it. This is what there is. This is phenomena. All there is are phenomena, including the rocks on the other side of Mars. What's the big deal?
Hmm.
So in knowing that zero equals infinity, and that we are just the interplay between zero and the infinity, So absolutely nothing and absolutely everything. We are the third leg of the triangle. That is the true liberation of the mind, by the mind, through the mind. And it's 8:02. So I need to leave this Zoom meeting with this monumental proposition. That's all I have to say.
That you're saying that zero and well, we imagine that infinity is counting forever, and there's never it's infinite.
But you count in
It's
zeros anyway.
non-finite. It's
Yeah.
infinite. There's
Yeah.
finite and infinite. So infinite has no end in
Yes.
determining its value, but zero also is in the other direction.
I would put it in another sentence. I would say any geometrical figure is the aspectual side of sunyata, which is nothing.
It's the aspectual side of
Sunyata,
sunyata.
of non-aspect. Zero.
And the non-aspect is absolute truth, whereas common sensations are conventional truth, because individually we are sensing separately from other minds. So
We could say
have
that
our
the
own
truth, which is really as it is, cannot be thought completely.
So
It's always
the
between zero and
truth
infinity.
that will set you free is absolute zero or absolute infinity.
And you cannot think it, you can only intuit.
So where is Mike the mathematician and his argument of Aleph not when we need him?
Yeah, he was having, as soon as I took the conversation to zero and infinity, there was some hesitation there.
It blew his mind and he left. Everything.
Mathematicians and physicists.
If it gives you comfort to believe that, that's fine. But that's about as delusional thinking as I've heard here. And it's something like Mike was the most clear thinking person you have ever had attend here. And
I didn't say he wasn't. I didn't say he wasn't.
That he will never come back, because the value of your discussion
I have
did not even touch reality.
Utmost care and kindness and respect for this true mathematician. But the truth is that mathematics have a problem defining or formulating infinity.
But Buddha doesn't. Buddha knows
zero.
all, because it's a non-duality of the shape of farts.
Because this Dharma thinking,
Dharma thinking is what is the shape of Dharma?
It's zero and infinity at the same time.
And what is the smell of zero and infinity at the same time?
You can call it whatever you want. It can smell like roses.
So you can say Dharma like you can say God or Jesus or Yahweh.
It can smell
or
like
any of those.
roses, or it can smell
My
like
Dharma is your Darwin.
Anyway, guys, now it's 8:05.
Okay.
I need to detach. This was a good one. But we didn't mince
get
down
the Dharma. We didn't
mince
define
down
the Dharma in the unity or the Trinity.
We did not.
David
That's right.
the day.
David has the Dharma. Oh, by the way, David, I have something to share with you. I was mistaken about.
David saved the day because he determined that intuition and
instinct are the same shit.
One. So
he's
he's a non-dualist. But Luis Del Pino is a dualist because he tried to make a distinction between instinct and intuition. But David,
when you
the
do
non-dualist,
that, it uses your mind, and
together.
Unless you look at the synonyms of a word, the thing is that you get caught up in trying to dissect them, and they can't be dissected because they mean the same thing.
But shouldn't we look at the etymology and the roots and whether it comes from the Greek or from Latin?
Well, it depends on how you look at the source, because the thing is, our English language is made up of many different other languages
Or it
in a
could come
source.
from French.
But the thing is, like when you take the Hebrew language and, like I say, semantics, which come from the word Shem, okay, which means the word name, we're basically all a name-based society with words come from the original base of the original language. So our English language is composed of many different languages from not only Hebrew, but also from Greek and the Roman language, Latin, and then the common language of the neighborhood. And the thing is, all of them have definition for the same event, and the thing is, if the more events from the previous languages that you can understand, the more you can correlate, the synonyms to mean the same thing.
Yeah.
What if all words are synonyms
They are.
in the end? That's a non-duality. All words mean the same.
No, not necessarily. A synonym is a word describes an event, period,
Synonym means that they're similar, or
Yeah, they are
they
similar.
cover, they may overlap.
Yeah, that's right. Just like an antonym is the opposite. You got
All right,
Oh,
guys.
okay.
I need to skadoodle.
Okay, thank you,
The
Luis.
etymology of skadoodle is to get out of here. Always
Thank
a
you, Luis.
pleasure. It's always a lot of fun.
Don't forget the shape of Dharma
How
And
about
the
the shape of
smell.
a fart?
And the smell
and
of it.
smell. The smell and the shape of the Dharma.
It smells like barbecue.
That is interesting.
Later,
That-
guys.
That smell
Good week.
is a
You too.
word. No, the process of smelling is a far more intuitive sensation than the process of seeing. And I think it's because seeing, it requires so much processing. There's a huge part of the brain that processes seeing, and we have to determine what shape it is, if it's a square or a circle or a triangle. But the sense of smell, it goes in and bam, you know what it is. You know what a fart smells like instantly. And so you don't have to have deliberative thinking. You go in, suddenly you intuit that it is a bad smell.
So is the smell of sulfur.
The smell of what?
Sulfur.
Sulfur. Oh,
Yeah,
maybe farts have sulfur components to them
I have no idea.
because we expel things of our food that we've digested, or maybe we on we on purpose inject that awful smell so that others of our kind don't eat it, or maybe we use our poop to mark our territory. So we inject a smell that says, "This is my territory, so go away," and we make it smell bad so that they don't come into our territory. So instead of building walls, we should just fart along the border, and then people won't come across. Have a poop border, a border made out of poop, like a river of poop continually flowing. Oh, we could just put,
We
So
may
what-
we may have carried this subject as far as good taste would allow, but I will leave that to your discretion.
Right.
okay,
Just
I
like
will.
you use the word poop. Just think of how many other ways you could take and say that. The thing is, what ways would be acceptable to society and what ways would not?
Like shit would not be, maybe.
I don't know. To some people, it may be. If you're in the right circle and they use the word shit all the time, then it'd be acceptable, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is,
And
some
feces,
species, yeah, they could use that too. That's the same thing too, as well, right?
excrement.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, there's all kinds of words that we can use for the same event as, you
I
know.
I prefer doo-doo.
Doo-doo.
It's a little more polite for
Oh,
Canadians.
and in Spanish, it's caca. What is it in French?
Doo-doo.
Is it French?
Mare. Mare.
Oh, mierda in Spanish, mierda.
See? All kinds of ways to say a single event, like shit. But the thing is, if you say it the wrong way, then you're expelled from the conversation.
Hmm. I better say it correctly.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, you can say anything any way you want to in this conversation.
Hmm.
Doo-doo, caca, poo-poo, you know, shit, feces, whatever, excrement or whatever it is.
We've moved from insight and intuition very rapidly.
But it explains that certain objects bring about quicker insight than other objects. Like the looking at the Darwin board causes me to think deliberatively and say and wonder what is the meaning of that board, and why does it look pleasing, symmetrical, and what how could I use it? But the when I fart and I say ooh, that smells, it's intuitive, no, it's instinctual, I know it immediately.
Okay, let me ask you something, both of you guys. What do you think is the greatest sense that we have?
The greatest sense, yes,
most
I
useful
know
sense.
the answer.
What?
I know the answer.
What is it?
The greatest sense is our mind sense. The uh, when does is it activated? When out of our other senses we produce an intuition, and that intuition is greater than any sense, because with an intuition we know what to do next, and we can prevent our demise. So it protects the our body by having a mind that can intuit dangers, like like the sense of smell in itself is not dangerous, but if we introduce the sense of smell, then we can avoid stepping on doo doo, and that's derived from smelling it first and then saying, oh, where is that coming from, and then we look down and say, oh, there's the doo doo. It's a good thing that I had the sense of smell. If my nose was stuffy, then I would walk around and I would step on the doo doo, and that would be horrible because we have to clean it and stuff like that. So I think the sense of intuition is the superior sense, and that's found in the mind. It's if we have a well, it depends on our other senses, but the mind figures it out. In,
I really think you're wrong.
thank you.
Myself, the greatest sense that exists is a sense of hearing.
Oh,
Because
wow.
the thing is, without hearing, you can't even take and disseminate different words. You don't know if somebody's speaking what they're speaking, the word they say the word intuition or whatever it might be. You can't hear that if you don't have the sense of hearing. It has
Oh,
to be written or processed in a different way. Hearing identifies people's voices just as much as sight does when you become familiar with sound. And from the time a person is very, very young, the first thing they do is they learn the sound of their mother or father or whoever's looking after them in all species of animals, I believe. So the thing is the sound and the ability to listen actually determines a person's motion, what do you say, direction, I guess, in their life. I mean, even the thing is we talk about poop. The thing is with sound, you could possibly hear an animal or somebody just by identifying what the sound is that they're doing to know that it's poop, that somebody's taking a piss. I mean, the sound is the same. Not, I shouldn't say the same as one another, but I mean, is identifiable. So to me, the thing is, without sounds and without the ability to listen, the thing is that there is where we all go sort of astray. And the same as with words. If we can't hear
Oh,
words mentioned and also other words that are mentioned that mean the same thing, we're not listening and understanding properly. So, to me, I believe that, the ability to listen or to hear the greatest sense that we have.
oh,
Darwin.
Mike, Mike,
Hey,
Mike.
good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
How are you?
Welcome,
Thank you.
welcome, my friend Mike from uh 50 years ago? No, 30? No, how long ago? Maybe 30.
It's
1980,
been about 30,
mm,
80,
90.
89.
Wow, 90.
Yeah, you haven't aged a
Wow,
bit. It's
I haven't
amazing.
aged. I get a haircut, makes me look younger. Wow, it's great to see Mike join us for the first time.
I
Mike
know. I
is
follow you a little bit. I watch your YouTube videos.
Mike is in the Panhandle region of Florida.
Yes.
David is in Central Florida, near where I live. Darwin or Joel, he's here somewhere. He's in Toronto, and we had Luis Del Pino, but he left early. He's in outside of Orlando, in Claremont area. And I'm in Heathrow, north of where David is. And David is a fan of finding the source of the meaning of words that we use. What does the word
That's
uh, intuition mean? What does the word, or intuitive? What does the word instinct mean, or instinctive? Are they? What do you think, Mike? Do you distinguish them, or can you tell when someone uses the word what they mean? They're kind of similar, aren't they? Wow, Mike is
Ooh,
driving.
I am driving. Just went and got some fishing tackle for my neighbor.
Do you use when you're driving? Do you use your instincts more or your intuitions more?
Oh man, probably instincts, I guess. Uh, is Are
Reflexes.
instincts something that you've developed subconsciously through experience?
Yes, reflexes, right? You because you're able to think about the question and continue driving. So you're using uh, unconscious or reflexes, kind of.
Yeah.
You're able to do several things at the same time, except don't text and drive. What do you think, David?
Well, as I said before, what is it? Intuition and instincts to me, the same thing, and I believe what Mike said is, something, a process of learning. When you learn something so much that it becomes automatic, then it becomes instinctive or intuitive.
Interesting. What do you think, Darwin?
Is Darwin
Oh,
there? Or did he go home?
he went to drink some coffee.
Probably went to make some coffee. That's what I did a bit ago.
Hmm. And Mike, are you going fishing?
So my neighbor, I just moved. I've been bouncing around for a couple of years now, ever since that hurricane destroyed our town. And I just moved again, and had a neighbor bring me over some fish shortly after we met. Really good fish, and his son loves fishing. So I just saw something pop up on my phone last night that someone was having a garage sale, and they had fishing tackle. So I ran over there and grabbed some fishing tackle to give to my neighbor.
So you can
Yeah.
catch more fish.
So what kind
Yeah,
of fish
yeah,
did,
because
you,
I
did they
want more
catch?
fish.
What kind of fish did they catch, Mike?
Red drum,
Oh, okay.
delicious, and actually some black drum also, but mostly red drum. Oh, it's the best. So he
So where
actually prepared it for me. Made some fish tacos.
Uh-huh.
Really good stuff. So
Where'd they
anyway,
catch it?
just
In the Gulf?
right off the Gulf Coast. So in the surf.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know how much you know about fishing, but typically there's sandbars, and you know there's usually one or two, and so on either side of the sandbars is areas where fish will hang out, and you just caught it off the first sandbar.
That's good.
Yeah. So
On
yeah,
a little boat? Or does he?
just you know, they stick a piece of PVC in the sand, and they run a couple fishing poles, and they just watch for which one's bending.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this
Mm.
guy's originally from St. Augustine, and he's always lived near the coast, so he's really good when it comes to fishing. He knows what he's doing, knows what time to go, and
Does he get to the sandbar with on a little boat or what?
you know, the pole's long enough to where you just, you know, stand on the shore and cast out.
Wow.
Yeah, it's real easy. It almost feels like cheating. I don't know why people go to the store for fish when it's so easy.
Well, you got to know a little bit about fishing and, you know, what's running at the time, you know, that helps,
Yeah,
you know.
I
And
kid
it's
a little bit.
fresher. Fishing is fresher than going to the store, right? Maybe better
Yeah,
for you.
yeah, it's it's a real blessing the way these fish come in. So yeah, really happy with this new place we found ourselves in. The nice neighbors we've got.
But are you still working on building a home or somewhere? Or,
I am. So we're still going back and forth between the architect and the engineer. So every time we make a change to the drawings, the engineer has to make sure it's going to be stable, and then he gives the feedback that he needs to change something. So recently we had to change the size of one of the floors, and so now we're working with the architect to reallocate that space in a way that pleases us. So it's kind of cat and mouse. This is my first time going through this process. It's more complicated than I realized.
wow.
Yeah.
And every time you do that, is adding the cost of the final design.
Well, I think my architect wants to charge more because it's costing her more time than she planned on putting in. And but I'm using the engineer that she recommended, and I don't know. I guess for future reference, anybody that wants to do this process, you pay a little bit more when you have the engineering and the architect under one roof, but you don't have to deal with the going back and forth and renegotiating with people as their time, you know, their investment in time goes up.
Mm.
But it'll still be worth it. I think I'll end up still coming in as a savings. Just it will cost me administrative effort.
Mm. Have you
Well,
thought
I
of?
tell you what, I'm going to get out of here for today. So I hope you have a good week, and we'll see you like next week. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Thank you, David.
Okay. Catch you
chiming
later,
in.
Jairo. Nice meeting you, Mike.
Nice meeting you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Right. Wow,
Is
Mike,
it just us, Jairo?
it's it's just us and Darwin, but Darwin went to get some coffee. I think
Okay.
Darwin. Well, that's not his name, but his name is Joel in Toronto, and he invented a board game called Darwin.
Oh,
Can
really?
you can you see it? Let's see if you can.
Oh, I see. I see it. I'm on my phone. It's kind of small, but
Oh,
I
and
can see something
don't
there.
don't zoom and drive. No, but that's pretty good. You can just talk and listen without looking down, because you know
Yeah.
what I look like. I I think.
I see you twice.
Oh, I got my phone version and my iPad version.
How's everything at home?
Hmm. It's nice and calm. I'm the only one awake. There's my mother lying in her bed near me, and then a few rooms down the house, there's my mother's helper, a hired hand, a lady that helps me take care of her, and my sister also uh, does a lot of taking care and working here in the house, but she took a break from that and took a vacation for a month, and she went to visit her son who lives in Colombia. So she's on vacation. So she
Hey,
told me to make sure to take care of mom real well, because she's 98 years old, and
oh
and
wow.
and, and she's not handicapped too much physically, except that she sometimes loses her balance, and she's getting weaker, or she has a hard time getting out of the chair and stuff like that. I guess we have to try to make her do more and more physical exercise. But it's maybe we have her. We put on YouTube. We put videos of some instructor, like yoga instructor, doing chair yoga for seniors,
Oh, that's cool.
or something like that. Sometimes
So,
and stuff.
do you have longevity on your father and your mother's side?
She's 98, and my father was 90 when he passed away, or
Oh
almost
wow.
90.
So you're gonna be around for a while.
Yeah, unless I get hit by a car, or text and drive.
Hey, have you heard from my brother Tim?
Oh, Tim, I haven't made contact with him. Uh,
He,
because
he, he lives
maybe
near
I
you.
maybe I maybe I jotted maybe I managed to jot down and add him as a contact. Maybe not. I'll check in my
So
phone.
he's been wanting to play tennis with somebody, and I told him that you would be a good person to reach out to.
Oh,
Are you still
okay.
playing a little bit of tennis?
Oh, uh, uh, maybe once a week. Yes, I would like to play more tennis. Let's see. Let's see. I'll check my contacts and see if I added him. Let's see. Well, I search for any Nigro. Nigro. Oh, oh, oh. I even spelled Nigro wrong. I spelled it with a B, Bigro.
You
But
guys are
but I
Facebook
did
friends.
add him to my contacts. Oh, except it doesn't have a phone. I got his name Tim Nigro, but there's no
Yeah,
phone.
he's bounced around a little bit. Probably Facebook Messenger is the best way to reach him.
Oh, maybe that's how I got him added. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe I do have him in Facebook. Let's see if I do have him in Facebook when I
I
go.
told him. I told him don't play you for money. I warned him already.
Don't do what?
Don't don't play tennis with you for money.
Oh, okay.
I told him he'd be broke.
Yeah, maybe.
You
Or
still
I'll
got
be.
all your trophies?
Hey, hey, Tim. No, I took pictures of some and then threw them away. Hey, Tim. Hey, Tim. Do you want to play tennis
Yeah.
sometime? Sometime. Question mark. Mm, there. I sent him a message through Messenger. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, you still have a lot of your trophies?
Hmm. Tennis trophies. I think I threw them away. They take up too much space.
Yeah, I imagine as many
And
as you had.
no, I didn't have that many. But I maybe I tried to take a picture of them first.
What was your What was your title? Were you the European American champion?
uh, hmm. Oh,
You're,
when I came back from Germany, let's see, I went to live in northern Kentucky, then central Kentucky, then I moved down to Florida, and then South Florida. And in South Florida, I tried entering tournaments, and but I didn't win anything. They're pretty good,
uh,
but it was fun playing weekend little tournaments. Hmm.
nice.
Hmm. Hmm. And let's see. Yeah, so here we uh, we uh, we chat about philosophical things, and uh, and Luis or I talked about, or I was thinking about the word intuition and versus instinct, and so he said, "Oh, that's an interesting one. So why don't we talk about that this coming Saturday?" And so I yesterday I put that in the description or added that, but kind of late. So maybe not too many. Nobody showed up for that. Or so yeah, I didn't have mention this meetup in the Central Philosophers meetup group until last night. So, but nevertheless, you joined because I mentioned it in Messenger to
Yeah,
join, and you did. Wow.
I went to bed early last night, so I woke up early today.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Do you
yeah.
usually get up at 8 or 9 on Saturdays?
On the weekend, I probably sleep till about 8 o'clock your time, 7 o'clock my time.
Oh, that's still early, 7 o'clock. Also, so to join this, you would have to get up or join at 6. But you joined
Yeah,
at 7 your time, and
my
it's
wife is she likes to stay up late, and so you know, socially I like to stay up with her, which um, which makes me want to sleep in on the weekend. But last night I was pretty tired. I had a long day yesterday, so I went to bed early.
hmm. And what's the terrain look like
The
that you're
terrain,
driving?
it's very. Let's see, I can flip this around.
Hmm.
Just flat,
Oh, flat,
driving eastward.
sunny. You're driving into the sun.
Yes. So,
That means you're heading east. You're heading towards Tallahassee.
yes, towards Orlando, even. That'd be southeast.
And that means that to the right of you is the coast.
Yes, yes,
Is
just maybe 600 yards.
wow. So you might be able to see some ocean.
Oh yeah, I can give you a view of the ocean here in a little bit if you want to see it.
Wow, that's exciting. I
Yeah.
haven't seen the ocean in months. I think I went to uh, New uh, New Smyrna Beach some months ago, early in the pandemic. Oh no, not too early. It was more like October, a few months ago. I
Your
got
exploring words and meaning is very interesting. kind of brilliant how some of these words.
Yes. What's what one word or two words that you've thought of recently that that you had to maybe look up and say, oh, so that's what that means, or you had to, or it made you wonder.
So I experience poor recall. I have to go back and remind myself of some things. But so I just enjoy the exploration of, oh, why do we use this word, and where did it come from, and how many different languages utilize the same roots for their communication, and it just becomes very interesting to me. I just find that it's very I don't know, brilliant, I guess. The way some of these words that we use were based on. Trying to think of a word.
Like what was one word that you found interesting recently, or in the past? And did it have
About
a
hallelujah.
what?
What do you think about the word hallelujah?
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I would say that it probably has roots in the Hebrew language.
It's an interesting word, isn't it?
Hallelujah, hallelujah, or yeah. How is it even spelled?
I think it's like the Spanish J.
Originally, maybe JA.
I think so.
Then it would be, maybe that's one way of spelling it. That I've always seen it with an HAL, but I'm not sure if it has two L's. Maybe it's one L.
Well, I mean, ends in JA, right?
It ends in H also.
Oh yeah. All right. So now this word becomes more interesting.
Oh, maybe it's a
Is there any way of
palindrome.
spelling it?
But but uh but what does it mean? Is it like joy, or like to express joy?
I think that that's probably culturally how we use it.
Mm.
How about Gesundheit?
Gesundheit. I would think that's German. Gesundheit.
How about
Gesundheit.
Schönheit? You remember
What?
Schönheit?
Who? Schön. Schönheit. Is that German?
Yeah, it's a joke. Gesundheit means the kind of like the state of being, and gesund means healthy. So like, I guess it means be healthy.
Mm.
And so if somebody sneezes, and you would think they're a little bit sick, so you would say Gesundheit, saying like be healthy, or health upon you, right?
Mm.
Schön means beautiful. So if you
Schönheit.
say Schönheit, it might it would be kind of a funny slang term for like maybe you need a blessings of better looks. I don't know. It would be something rather juvenile to say.
Did you come up with that combination? Schönheit.
I just something I recall.
Schön,
You
Schön,
know, like
from the days in Germany.
yes.
Hmm. Schönheit. Schön. Oh, it's coming to me. Danke schön. Danke.
Yeah.
That's a German word. Doesn't it? Isn't Danke like thank you?
Yeah.
Then maybe Danke schön is thank you, beautiful.
Not well. That one means thank you very much, but
Oh, that's right.
but
Wow.
sehr schön means like very beautiful.
Oh, there, very. It's
Sehr
coming
schön.
back to me, and 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 a phrase that's kind of useful in the airports. Wo ist der Ausgang? Uh,
Yeah. Where is the exit?
yes, yes, very good. Wow, I may learn German this morning, or relearn it. I tried learning it in Zweibrücken. I took out a VHS set of maybe it was 2 volume or popped them into the TV, into the VCR, and put it on TV and to watch German phrases. So I practiced them, and I went down to Zweibrücken and tried them on, and I learned to say them so well that they thought I was German, and they started speaking real fast, and I didn't know what they were saying. So I quit doing that.
That's funny. Remember Farfignugan?
Farfignugan.
You remember what that means? It's a Volkswagen VW uses it for their commercials.
Oh, that was in the Volkswagen commercials, and the driver would, after driving all over the real fast, stop and say Farfignugan or something like that.
Yeah. So fahren means to drive, and Fignugan means the joy of. So the joy of driving.
Oh wow. Now I'm starting to like German again. I think I'll start learning
Farfignugan.
it because it's kind of like English, but it's more precise, and it's got more syllables or something. I don't know. It's yeah, and maybe the grammar is more complicated, so maybe it's more precise. Maybe it's good for technical stuff. And you can build new words. Yeah. So maybe I should learn some German too.
I ended up staying over there an extra 3 years after you left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, and you were married to that pretty German girl there.
Yeah. Except for she was crazy.
Oh, this crazy. What I wonder what was that like? Crazy
Verrückt.
German girl.
Verrückt means crazy in German. Verrückt.
Correct.
Ferrucht. Verrückt.
Farouk.
But I think they pronounce it correct.
Correct. Oh, interesting. The umlaut.
Mm.
Hmm. Wow. Maybe I can
You
learn
have a
German
busy
from you.
you have a busy bee gas station near you?
there, there's no busy bee gas stations in this area. That's what you're doing. You're gassing up. Darwin, Joe, what are you doing? Why don't you join us? I see you're moving. Maybe he's muted.
Is it just
Or
us still?
yes. Ah, wow. But I see Darwin or Joel. He's doing something, but he doesn't want to join us in the conversation. Let's see if I ask. No. Let me see. Maybe I'll send him a chat message. Chat. Send to Darwin. Oh, maybe he turned his camera off or something. Joe. There. Oh, maybe he can't see it, but I see him there. Or in the sidelines. Hmm. Wow. So you're in the
Yeah,
busy
they have
bee.
really nice air compressor service, and
Oh, for
so
your
I'm filling
tires.
my tires up.
Oh, that's what that noise is. Oh, can you show us the busy bee place?
I'll show you.
Turn the camera
See,
around.
you set the
Oh,
temperature. That's how you want your.
oh, nice. Oh, look at that tire. Wow. Hmm. Hey, Darwin. Hey, Joel. Can you hear me? No, he can't hear me. It's kind of funny. And what pressure do you put on your tire?
36.
Wow, that's a lot higher than mine. For a Nissan Altima, I think I put around 30, 32.
Yeah, I think that
This must
there.
be an SUV.
Yeah, my wife, she likes to drive an SUV, so I'm just taking care of her car this morning. I thought I was going to get some fishing poles when I went to go get that fishing gear, but somebody was there right before me and they bought all the fishing poles.
Oh no.
That's okay. I got some hooks and some leaders, which will be really handy. Wow, something's wrong with this pump. It's draining the air out of my tires instead of adding air. So
Oh
much for
no.
free air compressors. I'm gonna have to turn it around. See.
Mm. Let's see if I can see what kind of car it is.
It's a Chevrolet.
It's a Chevrolet. Hmm.
I just got it for her yesterday.
This car?
Yeah.
Wow.
It yeah, see. It's used, but it's new to us. Her last car was on its last leg. It was a 2005 and things were starting to go wrong. So I traded it in.
Hmm.
So now this is a 2018.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
pretty new.
So
Wow. I guess it's safer. And you're up higher when you drive an SUV.
yeah. Has Don joined you on these calls yet?
No. How's
All right. He watches the video, so we need to talk to him while we're on here.
wake him up? Maybe I'll get on Messenger and say, "Hey Don, join." Oh, maybe I could call him via Messenger. Like turn the camera on, see if he'll join us. Let's see. Go to Facebook and then go back here and then back here and hit the Messenger. See if I can find a chat with Don. Let's see. Oh, Mike and Don. There's Mike and Don. They're like a group. Let's see if I hit camera or if I hit call. What would happen? Well, let's try camera. Sharing video.
Will it conference him in? Can you link him?
I don't know if I can get him.
Oh, It's calling me.
Oh yes. The that if you answer, it might kick you out of Zoom. But let's see if he answers. Let's see if he answers Messenger. Maybe he's still snoring in bed. He's dreaming of his life in Zweibrücken. Hmm. No, it's still ringing, and he hasn't answered yet. I did a camera call.
Mm.
No.
He might be asleep. I bet he likes to sleep in. Because I know he stays up late.
Hmm.
Oh,
Wow.
I got my camera turned around.
But
Here we
you
go.
but you got up early so you could go down to the fishing store and get some fishing supplies this morning.
Yeah, it was actually a garage sale.
Oh, it was a garage sale full of fishing equipment. So you
Yeah.
didn't get here early enough, or maybe it started Friday.
Well, it started at 7 in the morning, and I was there at 7, but I guess somebody got there before 7.
Oh, they cheated on you. They said,
Yeah.
maybe it was Don.
Oh man, the stuff they took with them was very nice.
Oh,
The guy they were moving, and the guy he must have been a really good fisherman because he had very nice stuff.
ah,
But
hmm.
yeah, this is
Wow.
a good place for fishing.
Hmm.
If you like
But,
fresh fish, this is a good place to be. They
hmm.
got a very
And you're gonna
nice
get
nonprofit in the county right next to us. So we're on the county line, but there's a club that does artificial reefs, and
hmm.
and they make artwork, and they that's good for fish habitats, and so they're kind of creating a little bit of tourism, and they're definitely doing something that's good ecologically.
Hmm.
But all kinds of really neat reefs they've been putting in the water.
Wow.
Yeah, they have one that looks like a Aladdin's lamp.
Hmm.
It's like a huge lamp. They got one that looks like I don't know what you call it, the mask, like it's the symbol for theater.
Yeah. But then only the underwater divers can see them, right?
Well, the
Appreciate them.
water's not real deep, so you can snorkel to them as well.
Hmm.
So they put them where shallow scuba diving or snorkeling, and then of course when the water's clear, you can see it from the surface too. Pretty good.
And then corals start growing on them. And how long does it take to get covered with coral?
Pretty quick, I think. As long as coral has something stable that's not going to get disturbed, I think it grows pretty fast.
Wow.
So, a few months maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So,
Oh,
but
oh, Tim answered. He says, yes, sure. So maybe I'll play tennis with Tim Nigro,
yeah,
and
I think you guys would enjoy it.
and maybe I'll get back in shape if, and lose my beer belly.
All that
They're
karaoke,
playing,
huh? You getting a
or
bigger belly?
maybe hmm, that I haven't been able to do karaoke because of the pandemic, the shutdown. And even though the bar's open, that has karaoke, the my my sister doesn't want me to go there, or if I do, that then she gets upset, or it makes me go take a shower immediately when I get back.
Uh, that's a good
but
sister. She's
but
looking after.
but yes, I wore my mask at karaoke and sat on one table by myself. Mm. And well, one person wanted to give me a hug because they hadn't seen me in a long time, so I made a quick hug. Yes, it's like a cheers kind of bar, with a stage for karaoke and live bands. Hmm. It's a friendly place. Hmm.
Something Time Lounge, isn't it? What is it?
Oh, Post Time Lounge.
Yeah,
Oh yes,
post.
we met at Game Changers. That was a place south of Orlando. But I go to Post Time now because it's open. Because Game Changers they closed because of the shutdown. They went out of business, so they closed. Oh, too bad. It's pretty nice. But Game Changers, yeah, closed. But the one called Post Time Lounge, it's up closer to where I live, north part of Orlando,
Yeah,
Metro
that's where my
Orlando.
brother is. He's up there north of the city.
Oh, okay. Maybe he lives in Longwood or something.
Yeah, I think that's where he is.
Hmm. Oh,
I,
okay.
I'm,
So I've made contact with him.
I'm gonna look and see exactly where he is.
Hmm.
Sanford.
Oh, that's real close to where I live. He's like next door neighbors because I live in Heathrow, and that's across from Sanford, like the other side of the tracks. Well,
Okay.
actually the other side of I-4. Oh, I see Darwin's hand moving. Oh, wow. Another wonderful morning, Saturday morning Zoom meeting with special guest Mike Nigro from Pensacola. Is that where you live or near that? What's the name of the town you live?
Do you still work for
Pensacola?
your brother a little bit?
Hmm. Yeah,
Panama City
yes.
Beach.
Oh, Panama City Beach. Oh, that's where you live. Yes,
Yeah.
I, I went there yesterday to work, and I'm going there. I'll be going there more often, because of the shutdown. I wasn't going there very often, but now I'm starting to go there maybe 2 or 3 times a week.
Are you doing carpentry type stuff or computer support or what?
Mm. Yes, like when I was there, I what did I do there? Oh, my brother handed me his laptop, and I tried to get antivirus on it, and I found a pretty good deal online. Let's see, WebRoot, 1 year for $30. For 5 users, for 5 devices. Yeah. But it was a hard to get the processing. I finally paid it with PayPal because
Mm.
a credit card wouldn't work, or his credit card wouldn't work. Hmm. So I still haven't installed it on his computer. So I took his computer home, and so I'm going to install it over the weekend.
Nice.
And some other things. It's a small office now, and it used to be bigger, but we downsized. Mm,
Does he still go to the convention center for work?
And as in what kinds of projects? Like, yeah, like he did the convention center and several times, because it's been growing over the years. Like the
Yeah.
first time might have been in 1995, and when and then they expanded, and so every 10 or so years got another job there. But they did the something at Goa. I think that means the Orlando Airport, GOAA. I don't know what it means, but it's the facilities near the airport. Hmm. And then a project in Jacksonville. Oh, one time they did a project at the Air Force Base in where you are at.
Tyndall.
At or maybe the other one.
Eglin?
England. Yes, they did a lot of buildings that they're putting up to consolidate bases, like bring people from other bases to shut their bases down. So they expanded Eglin a lot.
Mm.
And that took that was maybe 10 years ago, and that was a huge project.
Mm.
I don't know, maybe 5 million. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
It took several years to finish it.
Wow.
Mm-mm. Hmm. Let's see. Well, I guess I better go now because I have another kind of meeting, kind of a Zoom meeting, starting up at 9. So I'm a
You want
little
to
late.
see the golf first?
The what first?
The golf?
Golf?
Yeah.
Oh, are you gonna show me the the ocean at
Yeah.
that'll be the Gulf of Mexico?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Although you're going to be late. If
Oh, maybe I can
wait.
disconnect from
So
one of
I
my.
prompt host.
Hmm. Let's see. Where am I? Here I am. Hmm.
Walking to the. I'm walking. So where we're renting is right around the corner from where we're going to build.
There.
Oh, you still there?
I'm here. Can
Okay.
you see me? Yes, I turned off the iPad,
Yes.
so now there's only one instance of me. Now I'm going to.
Let's see. So I'll show you the. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see.
Oh wow.
Let's see. I'm walking down my street, and let's see. I just came off of this road here, which is where we're renting, and I'll show you the vacant lot that we're going to build on here in just a second,
Oh.
and then I'll show you the beach access that, and I'll give you a view of how things are looking this morning at the Gulf. Let's see. You see this this house right here?
Yes.
You see that house?
Yes.
You see that lot right next to it? That's the lot
Mm.
we're building on.
Oh.
We haven't started, but and then so these condos are on the water, so we're just across the street. But my beach access point is right there. So in just a minute. Oh, you turned upside down.
Oh. Oh no, I can't stay. Let's see, let's try this way.
See, the guy that's building on this lot is also building that house back there. You see that one under construction? Where my finger is? Can you see that or no? Anyway, that guy's very interesting. He's an artist and self-taught architect and builder. And after 9/11, he did a lot of the design for the memorial, the 9/11 memorial, and the city of New York gave him a key to the city. And they wanted to pay him, but he wouldn't cash the check. I think they gave him like $100,000, and he said that he didn't want the money because, you know, he wanted to do it as a gift, I guess.
Wow.
Really nice guy. So it's a pretty day today.
There's the ocean.
Very pretty, huh? So this is where you can get all the fish you want, right here.
Wow.
This is the best time of year to be here because you don't sweat and you got the place to yourself. You're about right over there. That's where you are.
Mhm.
So that's it. That's life on the panhandle.
Wow, there's a lot of footprints.
See, some days the beach is covered with shells. Today, not very many. Let me see. I'll show you my favorite kind if I can find one. What's your next meeting about?
It's called the empowerment. The empowerment of a wisdom Buddha. And it's from Sarasota. Oh, it actually starts at 9:30.
Look at this. Oh wait, can you see it? Yeah, look at that one. Oh, look at this. It's a auger. See that?
Wow.
I don't know if you see it or not.
Like a conch shell. There's a lot of shells there.
Did your brother bid on any of the jobs over at Tyndall Air Force Base for the base of the future buildings and stuff?
Where is Tyndall base located?
It's in Panama City.
Oh, is it an Air Force base?
Yes. So Hurricane Michael, you know, from 2 years ago,
Oh.
Tyndall took a direct hit.
Oh.
So what DOD decided that the level of damage was so great that they would just start over completely.
Wow.
And establish a baseline for what they're calling base of the future. And so there's yeah, it's all getting redone completely. Modern buildings, modern infrastructure.
Oh, is that being built right now, or is it
Yes.
still?
It's about a 5-year plan. So
Wow.
they're about a year into a 5-year plan.
I'll see if the estimator knows about it.
Yeah.
And maybe he didn't know about it and was looking somewhere else, or maybe they weren't notified, or he was too busy working on other big projects. I don't know.
So access number 95. If you're in Bay County, Florida, access 95 will put you very close to my house. It's going to be right next to that one.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Hmm. So
guess I can't go this
so
way.
so you got the property there, and are making the plans to your specifications, and
Yes.
and uh and then who builds it, like
Well, I've got a couple of options. I got a traditional builder, and then I got a commercial builder, and I got a good price from my traditional builder, and then my commercial builder saw the plans as they are right now, and he said he'd really like to build it, and he offered me a really competitive price
oh,
to do it. And so, everybody wants to save money if the quality doesn't suffer. So I think I might go with the commercial builder. But yeah.
wow. And then and will your house be uh quite unique from everyone else's in the neighborhood?
Maybe a little bit, but not quite. I wouldn't say quite. It's going to be we're going to build it kind of tall because we want to have views. So we got to be able to see over those condos. So it's going to be a little taller than that one.
Wow.
And actually, because the views are best at the highest point, and the reason why I'm doing this is because of the way the hurricane destroyed our last house. The point of failure on most houses is the roof. So we're doing an all concrete outer envelope, and the roof is actually going to be a flat, like, party deck. So so not only will we have that higher top floor, but then you'll be able to get on the roof for, like, stargazing.
And are and is on the roof you can put sections for growing plants?
Oh yeah, we're gonna do a lot of plants, probably some square foot gardening on the roof. Yeah, that'd be really nice because it'll be less likely to get weeds and pests. So it'd be
Wow.
50 feet in the air. Yeah. And out here, it's really at night the stars shine really bright because there's not much light pollution.
Oh.
They protect the sea turtles, so it's kind of dark at night. And so the lights are really bright. So yeah,
So maybe you could get a nice telescope.
yeah, I would like to do that. So, and it would serve other purposes too. The sometimes there's a ship off the shore that you might want to take a look at. So yeah. So it was windy earlier. I didn't hear what you said. What was your next meeting about?
Yes, the next meeting is called the Empowerment of the Wisdom Buddha, and it starts at 9:30. So
and when you say Wisdom Buddha, is there multiple Buddhas? Are there several Buddhas? Or is Buddha a term that doesn't really mean a person or a being?
Yes, Buddha means an enlightened person, and then there's kind of mythological Buddhas, and but this particular wisdom Buddha came about maybe it's fairly new. It's maybe two or three, no, maybe 400 years old. That this Buddha, but
Did this Buddha exist in reality, or is this Buddha a concept?
this particular wisdom Buddha, mm, that is kind of it's kind of mythological, mystical, and yet it does have a story behind it that they say happened for real, but who knows that where it came from. So maybe 400 years ago, this person wanted to become a Buddha, and and he did certain things, and then became considered a Buddha, or after his death became Buddha, and is used for like it, I guess these kind of Buddhas are kind of like angels, and this kind of Buddha is like a guardian angel kind of Buddha. Is
Okay.
and so this Buddha is supposed to guard guard our mind, and by guarding our mind, then we're be able to understand profound wisdom. Yeah, because we might get contaminated with wrong views. That this Buddha is supposed to help us find the right view, and so
Okay.
this empowerment, they're gonna have a teacher that has studied this, and he's gonna give a talk on this wisdom Buddha, and he's gonna get, and it's called an empowerment because they do a meditation, and they give us the license to practice this meditation, and this meditation involves looking at a picture of this wisdom Buddha and understanding the symbols around it, and because it has obvious symbols,
Uh-huh.
like a maybe a sword, and maybe holding this in one hand and this in the other. But those obvious objects are not what they seem. They have a certain meaning behind them. So it's
Oh,
kind of
so
complicated.
you don't know this stuff, but you're going to learn it after today?
Yes, I'm a little familiar with it, but there's deeper meanings behind what looks obvious.
Hmm.
and it comes from it comes from Tibet, the land north of India that became Buddhist 1,000 years ago, and
Hmm.
it brought the Buddhism from India, and then developed their own kind of Buddhism, mm. Tibetan Buddhism.
What's going
Yes,
on in Tibet these days?
in Tibet, mm, it 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 belongs to China because 50 years ago China took it over by force, or they said they were liberating the poor people of Tibet from the powerful I guess noble people, or the elite people of Tibet who had riches and power. The communist Chinese came into Tibet and kicked out the rich people and out of Tibet, and they took over Tibet, and the rich people of Tibet escaped to India. So now the rich people of Tibet live in India.
Wow. So, was that a good thing for Tibet or not?
Uh, 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 the people in Tibet they suffered the first few decades, uh, because and they still suffer, because they have to learn Chinese, and they have maybe they're better off materially, but they're suffering culturally, but they're trying to preserve their culture and their language. Mm, but like schools, they only teach Chinese because it's China. it's Chinese, and there's people moving in from China to Tibet. So their big city is now half Chinese and half Tibetan. Mhm.
Hmm.
Well, the countryside is all Tibetan, but the Chinese like to move in to start businesses and stuff. And
The
becoming a tourist
Chi-
attraction.
Chinese strategy is pretty powerful stuff. They've advanced in all over the world. I wonder if that's good or bad for other countries. I guess I don't know if Tibet can be a model for what to expect as China expands their
They
reach around the world.
they built a big train from Beijing, Peking, the capital of China, all the
Yeah.
way into Tibet. So it used to take months to get from China to Tibet. Now it takes a day or two on a train. Phew.
Wow.
And it goes up high over mountains. So they call it a sky train because it looks like a monorail, and it's a bullet train. It goes fast,
Yeah.
and it gets higher and higher in elevation. So maybe they have to pressurize it and pump oxygen so the people don't faint because there's lack of oxygen up in the mountains.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah. Over
high,
10,000 feet, you have
right?
trouble, right?
Yeah, I think they have cities that are up over 10,000 feet. It's like a plateau, and it's up high. So the Tibetans, they're used to it because they've acclimated over centuries. So maybe they have a special lungs that
They
that
should.
are that are able
They
to take up the little oxygen that's there.
they would be able to do really well in the Olympics. You bring them down to sea level, and they would be like superheroes. I would
Yeah.
perform terribly living at sea level up there. I probably
Yes.
I probably would have to catch my breath going to the refrigerator.
Yes. Maybe you have to take an oxygen bottle or something
Mm,
in case you need some.
mm,
I don't know. I'll find out. Maybe there's some companies that are having that are organizing tours to Tibet, but maybe it's not very hot. It's not very easy for Westerners. Maybe if you go to China first and go that way, like you can't just get on a plane and land in Tibet. Well, maybe you could get on a hiking tour and cross the mountains, like
mm,
Mount Everest, and to get into Tibet
mm,
if you survive.
mm.
Or there's a few passages that it's pretty hard. There's
I've been to
people
Everest once.
there's people that escape from Tibet and they have to go over the Himalayas, the mountains
Wow.
that mm, some of
When
them
they
don't make it.
escape what? Because if
They,
they're not allowed to leave, or if they go a different way, they'll get killed, or why? What's the escape about?
yeah, some people want to escape Tibet, so it takes uh, several days in planning and moving at night, so they
Mm.
don't see you. So
Why they're not allowed to leave voluntarily?
no, I don't think so because it's communist China. Or maybe they can, but going through bureaucracy, maybe if you're a rich Tibetan,
I
but
see. So
but
kind of like the Philippines, where you got to pay, you know, the state a sum of money in order to leave.
there's a mountain near Mount Everest, or maybe not so near, but it's along the mountain range. It's called Mount Kailash, and it looks like a dome, and people walk around it. It takes it's like walking several miles to go all the way around it. Maybe it maybe it takes a day to go around it. And it's like a pilgrimage site, and so some Tibetans use that. I'm going to pilgrimage, and but they go around it, but then they sneak away and cross the mountains into India that way.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I've heard stories of that's how they get out. but it's kind of dangerous. But I've heard of a Tibetan that went out that way. Hmm. That is a kind of a tourist place between Tibet and India because the Hindus go there.
Hmm.
It looks like a Mount Matterhorn, but it's kind of round. Hmm. It's not as tall as Mount Everest, but it's pretty sacred. Hmm. It's like considered the center of their universe.
Hmm.
It-
Do you have plans for to travel to Spain at all?
hmm. Hmm. I'd like to go to Spain.
We talked about that, remember? I don't want to mention why on a recorded call.
Oh yeah, I have a girlfriend that's from Spain, and she thinks of going to Spain often because she's got family there and she misses them, so she tries to go there once a year.
Where is she right now?
She lives in Orlando, about
Oh, okay.
an hour's drive from here, but she longs to go back to Spain, and her mother and sisters are there. Or she has one sister here in Orlando. Hmm. But she tries to go to Spain once a year.
Hmm.
Hmm. But she hasn't been able to go. I don't think she's been able to go all this year. So she's pretty uh, sad about that.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't want to ask if you still had a girlfriend. So where's that
Yes,
going?
yes, that's my girlfriend, very good friend. But
Oh,
I haven't seen her all year. Well, maybe talking on the phone. Oh no, I think we. Oh, I did go see her in October. We met at New Smyrna Beach. Yeah, I mentioned that we that's the last time I've been to the beach. Yeah, I met her there.
is she going to
Uh,
be in your meeting today?
in the meeting today? No, no, no. This is a Buddhist meeting that people from Florida and maybe even farther are coming together. There could be 30 or more people
Oh,
that
wow.
and very few of them that I know. Maybe some people from Orlando are going to be there, but
Hmm.
I don't think I'll be able to see them. It will be just focused on the person giving the presentation and the teachings
Is
and the
that called
empowerment.
a guru? The guru?
That's going to be a kind of a guru. Oh, it's starting already. Look, there it is.
Oh,
Look,
oh,
do you see that?
all right. You'll have to give me some notes later about whether or not my presence in this meeting was disruptive or whether.
No, no. It's in a separate Zoom meeting. It's on my iPad.
Oh,
Hmm.
gotcha.
So
Man, look at
so
all that. There's a
oh
lot of
there
art.
uh that was a table full of displaying offerings, uh, decorations, but they mean a lot. Kind of
Hmm.
like a festivity, kind of Christmassy, but
Hmm.
it's more like offerings that they give to holy beings, I guess.
Hmm.
Oh, the meeting has started.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe I'll let you go so you can focus on that.
Okay.
Uh, let me know. Let me know how things go with the tennis tournament with Tim.
Good.
Hope you guys have a good
Good
time.
thing. Yes, I hope we can do some exercise
Yeah.
and chase balls down.
Ask him about his motorcycle accident. It'll be important for you to know that ahead of time.
No, okay. Did he have one recently
Uh,
or a long time ago?
3 years ago. He should have died.
Wow.
It was on I-4. And I'll let him tell you the story. But I'm surprised that he's ready to play tennis. Is why I say that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's good.
yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Have a nice day.
All right. You too, Jairo.
Okay.
Talk to you soon.
Thanks for dropping by.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks for hosting. Okay.